Ayo, what's up you guys? So, as promised, uh this is the next Star Wars Black Series review. Now I will say that I've had with this figure, I've had like a fascination. Like the Clone Trooper by far is a better figure in terms of like articulation and sculpt and all that because it's basically all brand new sculpt. It's a new body mold. But yeah, I kept going back to this figure. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I just really like Mandalorians and I think this looks cool. I think they can low key make a story out of like a former Mandalorian, as a lot of people call them. But yeah, and also in this video, I will say I'm probably going to say a few of the types of Mandalorians or whatever that I would love to get, eventually in the future. Which I have no doubt that they will make them because hey, we have to have a few main characters, but hey, we're missing a few spots. All right, just give them troopers or something. That's what they usually do. And I love them for that because I love different types of troopers. And there's many different types of Mandalorians. So, sorry, there's a TV and there's something funny, but so here it is. Again, there is. Let's see if I can actually get the sticker off. I can get it off somewhat. So, that's really all I can get off. All right, here we are. But at least I know that it's actually called the Commando. I couldn't remember if it was Commander or Commando. So here is the Star Wars The Black Series Mandalorian Super Commando. I would have. This is obviously these are the type of Mandalorians that worked under Darth Maul when he was leading Mandalore. So it's kind of funny. I don't know if I've told you guys this yet, but you've probably realized it if you stuck with me through my reviews and who I have. You would have probably noted that for the prequels in Star Wars, or at least the Clone Wars era, I don't have any villains. This is my first villain for the prequel era, and it's an unnamed goon. I guess that's how it is, right? It's just funny to me. Uh, oh, by the way, I don't know if I really need to address this because I don't think people care, but the shirt's just really nice. I'm, and I don't hate the Nationals. I'm just, and plus I got it as a Christmas gift, and I really like the shirt, so you can't blame me. Anyhow, um, so I don't even know why I addressed that. I'm just a little bit distracted because it's been a little bit since. I mean, like, I literally just reviewed that other figure, but it's been like a few minutes since then, so I have to kind of recalculate a little bit, I guess. So here's the typical box. It's basically the same thing as the other one. It's in the same color. It just has the picture of the Mandalorian Super Commando on the other side, on the side. And if you can't tell, on this side is the normal Mandalorian. Um, and then there's a pic. Oh, I just realized because I remember in the last video I knew I forgot something on the box. It was the freaking bio. I apologize. I don't know if I'll read that now. Um, I don't feel like making like a 1 minute video just me reading that bio. So maybe I'll read it in this review, but I'll read this one at least. So, Mandalorian Super Commando. Darth Maul's Mandalorians modified their armor to reflect allegiance to the Dark Lord. These Super Commandos wore red and black, and some even fashioned horns atop their helmet. Now, that's my cat if you heard him meow. Well, one of my cats. Uh, Now the thing with this is, so he has helmets on top of his head. As it said, helmets on top of his head. Hold on. Let me actually speak English here. Horns on top of his helmet, which is on top of his head, but uh now the interesting thing is, now I could be completely wrong because these guys did show up in a few comics. I think there was like a short Darth Maul comic run, and they had like the explanations of why the Mandalorians looked like this in season 7. Um, at least some of them. But from the actual animation themselves, I only saw one guy with horns on his helmet, and his name is slipping me right now. Um, but he's like he is a named character, and one of the difference is that he had horns and his visor was also yellow, um, which a lot of others weren't. Like it was highlighted yellow. If you hear like scratching, it's my cat struggling to drink water. I would show you it, but it's literally that pathetic. But I don't know what the deal is, why you can't just lean down and drink water. Apparently, he needs to do some dramatic fashion to it. Um, so for me in my head, I'm going, so is this the only, or are we not going to get that character? Now, if you don't know the character I'm talking about, I can't remember his name. I could probably search up his name, but I'm too lazy to. Um, Way to be a good content creator, Daniel. Um, but he showed up in both Rebels and the Clone Wars. Because in the Rebels, he was the leader of the Imperial Mandalorian group. Which I guess would be a better time than ever to just say, with the Mandalorians, the figures that I would want in the future is female normal soldiers of the Mandalorians. But I also want the Imperial Mandalorians. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, these guys specifically showed up in Rebels. And basically, when the Empire rose, they had kind of like a puppet government in Mandalore. And there's Mandalorians who had different armor and looked really cool. I really liked their look, and I would love to get their look. So, but that's all. Because most of the other notable Mandalorians have already been made, such as Sabine Wren and Bo-Katan and Boba Fett and Jango Fett, so those have already been made. But, yeah. So, I guess I can move on from that. Now, he has technically 3 accessories. 2 of them are literally the same thing, which is these 2 pistols. Now, I like these 2 pistols, because these are the first time we've gotten these pistols. So that's great. I think every Mandalorian should at least come with these 2 pistols if they're from like the Clone Wars era. However, the only complaint that I have is that you see a number of the Mandalorians have basically bigger versions of this, which are basically rifles. I would have loved to have gotten that. Now, yeah, you can. The other one is his jetpack, which they actually did like some extra paint work on, which is like this red to kind of signify like, hey, this belongs to this. And what it does is just you plug this into the back, and there's these other 2 little slots there, and it connects, and it's pretty on there. It's on there pretty well. However, it creates a lot of back weight, so I have a really hard time posing this, or at least getting this guy to stand up. But a sculpt, basically the simple Mandalorian helmet, but painted very nicely. It's so cool to me. I think the helmet is what really, like, it fascinates me because it just looks cool. Obviously, you got the helmets. You got spikes on his shoulder pads. You got the typical wires and whatnot on his wrists. You got a missile on this wrist. Um, Basically the same Mandalorian plating, just with different paint. Uh, and you got red, and you got like skin marks and everything. And they've got wrinkles and everything. From what I understand, this is like a repaint of basically Jango Fett. It's just the differences would be I think the differences are the holsters and obviously the spikes. I think those are the only differences. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure those are the only differences. So when I review the regular Mandalorian soldier, it's gonna be a lot of the same. It's gonna be very similar to this review because all it is that the color is different, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing else. So, but yeah. So, and he has holsters for these blasters, as I just mentioned. Um, Now, I don't have a problem with this body sculpt. I never got the Jango Fett figure, but I don't have a problem with this body sculpt. The only problem I have with it is that the arms, I think, could go... Ooh, did I break that? I think I just broke that. Unless that was already broken. Be very careful of these wires. They don't really... they're very thin. It's not going to bother me because it's not too notable, but yeah, I think I just accidentally broke these wires. Well, I mean, like, they're not real wires, obviously, but they're these. I don't know if you can see them. Hold on, right here. Unless they're already broken, and I just never noticed it. But yeah, so there's that. But other than that, I'm completely fine with this figure. Again, it could be a whole lot worse because I think one arm bends more than the other, but we'll see that here in a second. When they first made the First Order Stormtrooper, that arm articulation was horrible. So, but yeah, that is the sculpt and the paint, and it's great. I love it. So, I guess we'll get into articulation. His head moves up that far, moves down that far, can move side to side, and it's got a little bit of tilt. And then his shoulders go up that far. He has single jointed elbows. I think this one bends in shorter than this one does. I think it does. So, and it has a swivel there. They have wrist swivels, and they do have hinge at the wrist. He's got a diaphragm joint that allows him to crunch that far forward, that far back, and swivel, and a little bit of tilt. His legs kick up that far, I guess, and kick back that far. He's got an upper thigh swivel. Ooh, I don't trust that. I don't like that. He's got double jointed knees. Be very careful when you do these double jointed knees. His ankle moves down that much, moves up that much, and it has ankle pivot. So yeah, like I said, I would love to get more different types of Mandalorians, such as I think there's a group called the Protectors. You gonna fall over? Are you kidding me? Okay, yeah, I was about to say. Um, but yeah, so I would love to get more Mandalorians, because the Mandalorians have played a role in almost every single era of Star Wars. So that would be really cool to get some, you know, more of, like, yeah, there's even different clans now that I think about it, because there are different clans, like the Ren clan, the clan that Sabine's from. They have their own colors and everything. I think that would be cool to start getting like the different clans and stuff too, because with the different clans, you can put them in the rebel, like in the rebel shelf, because they fought against the Empire, which would be really cool. So hopefully get more of the different types of Mandalorians. I'm gonna actually hop on the computer and try to find the normal one because I want them. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And if you did, like, subscribe, and if you feel like it's worthy enough, share. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.